Teach me world-class backstroke, my friend.
Okay. First thing I'll look at is always body position, head position. So it's how you're sitting in the water. There's been, I mean, when I look at it, I talk about so you almost just want this part of your face out of the water. So if you're up too high, you got the risk of bringing your hips are going to sink down. But there should be just it should be back far enough, but not opening back. You almost want to like tuck this chin there, and then I like to lean on your shoulders because that's then just sitting that body position up, but keeping the hips up. These are your hips, by the way, and then a nice tight kick. So that's sort of where I start with them. Something that Isaac does incredibly well and better than anyone else, and it's why we think he's got so much speed, that raw speed, because it's the last finished part of his stroke. And that's something that I actually learnt from him. That and same Ryan, our biomechanist, when we're looking at it, we're looking at underwater footage. The way that he finishes to his hip, that was incredible. So that's what I've started to look for. And I wish I had have known that in my swimming career because we weren't doing that. And I was very good at the catch at the top, but then and then out to the side. So we would go a little bit wider. The way that he sort of brings that elbow in, oh, you can't see me, but brings that elbow in and then finishes through to his hip. It's
Yeah, do
best
us
that
a
it's
favor. Can you stand up and just show us that? Because I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's
I'll,
really, really valuable.
I'll s-
Yep. Yeah, yeah,
so
that
like
worked. Mhm,
the way that he holds water from here, but he
mhm,
actually keeps holding with his forearm and then he gets his hip up that way. And the way that for me, we were taught out wide and then we were sweeping all the way up and you start to get this out fault leading with the shoulder and you lose that last part of the catch where he's so good at that last part of the catch and he just
mm,
keeps driving on each side. And so what we did was start getting better at that top. So more sculling and trying to get into that position. So you can start to get into that high elbow catch for backstroke. So that's sort of what I'm looking at for the catch. Like you go fingertips to the side, should be facing the bottom of the pool. So either side of the pool. So when you're actually getting that travel, you've got all like the big paddle through there. Kick wise, obviously nice and tight, and just fitting in with the tempo. Um, and then that's got to all match up. I think your catch, your hips. One of the other big things, I'll show you again, um, is when they're actually applying pressure from out here, that you don't get this hip sway side to side. Like that's another
mm,
important one. You want to make sure all the cores on, you're applying pressure through here, you've got your power chain. And then as this hip comes up, like you're actually getting through there and it's not spitting out to the side, and then you have to shorten up your catch out the back there. And
mm.
so it turns into a bit more of a snaking movement versus actually rotating in the same line and then got this big power chain and actually utilizing the back part of the catch. I think that's a big thing that we're working on. And that are what I keep looking for.